I'm Troy Peterson, Mr. Bluegill from The Reel Shot. Welcome to another Reel Report here. And boy, we wanted summer, we got it. Here we are, another week, and we're going to be in the 90s this week. Setting record temperatures probably tomorrow on Tuesday. And the water temperatures, the hummingbird showing, we're up in the high 70s, low 80s, depending on where you're at here. We're actually, today what we're going to do is actually hit up the upper lakes. We're going to go up to Lake Butamore and Lake Poygan and try and fish some cane beds. And what we're going to do is we're going to show you kind of some things to look for, different ways you can fish the cane beds, and hopefully we hook into a few walleyes. But gorgeous day. Hopefully we can get some fishing in before the storms come. They're talking storms today, so we'll try and get as much as we can in. And hopefully, like I say, we'll catch a few walleyes doing it and at least enjoy the day. First day where we can actually fish with t-shirts and shorts. Don't have to worry about any sort of jacket or sweatshirt, so that's kind of nice too. But stick with us. We'll show you what we're doing, how we're doing it, and have some fun. A couple of things I look for when I'm fishing these weeds or these cane beds is there's a series of things. One, you have to have carp. I'm a big believer if the carp are around, the walleyes are going to be close behind. Two, we want to have nice green weeds. The greener the better. You can usually start fishing the cane beds as soon as you get some green sprouts just poking through the water. You'll get a few fish early in the year when that happens. But the other thing I like to find are the small little sandgrass weeds around the perimeters of the cane beds. I think if you got all three of those combined, you can usually bet that there's going to be some walleyes in these cane beds. The thing that, when we're fishing crawlers or leeches, you can use slip bobbers and cast your slip bobbers up into the pockets. Otherwise, I really like using just a 16th or a 32nd ounce jig with the big leech or half a crawler, and then just pitching up into the pockets or right along the edges. Be careful not to put your boat into the cane beds. These are a pretty dying resource. They're very sensitive, and I know they post a lot of signs up saying that just to stay out during a certain time period. But try and keep your boats out of there, and keep these weeds as healthy as you possibly can. When you're fishing, some guys like a longer rod for jigging, for dipping inside the cane beds. You could use a standard jigging rod, but I think another real important factor for being successful in the weeds is having a high visibility line, or a line that you can see, because a lot of the times with the shallow water, you're not going to feel the bite. What you're going to do is you're going to see your line start to go all over the place, and you can feel them. Usually I'll let them swim around with it for a little bit, unless you know that you got a real good solid hook set. Give it to them, but for the most part I'll watch my line swim around before I'll give them a good crack. Now what we are lacking today is I'm not seeing the carp I want to see, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of the sandgrass. There was a little bit in some really shallow areas. We've picked up a couple sheephead so far, but you just don't got that walleye feeling about these cane beds yet. I don't know if it's just because the water temperature has been so cold or what the deal is, but it just doesn't give you that sense of feeling that, yep, this is where we're going to catch some fish. Ah, that's a goat. Plenty of these in this system. Like Brian said the other day, I think he said he should be reclassified as an invasive species and treated as such, but we'll let that one go, and it's his lucky day today. Fishing's been tough today. I don't know what the deal is today, if it's maybe just too hot or if these fish just aren't in here yet. Now, I'm not seeing any carp rolling around by any of these cane beds. We're seeing a few, sucking air up around the edges, but they're not really rolling, stirring up the bottom, which I think draws a lot of these walleyes into these canes. But gives me a quick moment here to talk about a new product that's out there. Some guy stopped in at the store this last week and gave me one to try out, and man, this thing's pretty cool. Problem with having a cable drive trolling motor up front is that you can't hold a nice straight line because it always wants to walk around on you. You have to keep your foot on the pedal. That's where the Tarovas or the power drives are really nice, because you can put the autopilot or the electric steer and it holds its position and just goes straight. Well, an old guy, I guess, came out with this thing. It's called the Troll Perfect, and what it is, it's actually a collar that fits over the steel shaft or the aluminum shaft up on top, and then clamps down onto the shaft where the motor is, and there's a little thumb screw where you can adjust the tension to where it really doesn't even move at all. So if we want to go out and troll with our bow mount here, all I got to do is really set my foot pedal in the direction I want, and it holds that position. Now granted, it's not going to compensate for wind or anything like that, but you know, the problem with the foot pedals is that there's always slack in there, and it always wants to go turn on you, especially when you're fishing on high speeds. So when we put this, crank this down, lower it down in the water here, and now I'll turn my foot pedal on 100%, and I've got a hard time moving the foot pedal up and down, even with, you know, my foot. We'll turn it on continuous here. Set it in the direction, let go, and you know, normally the thing would be walking all over the place, but as you can see, the arrow stays really still, and it's not walking at all. $20 product. You can stop in at the store. I'm sure we'll be getting them in soon. If you need to get one right away, we can get you in touch with the guys that have them, or order it up for you and get it, you know, into the store here in a day or two. But nice little device, the Troll Perfect. Some more excitement here again. Don't know what we got on. We've been catching sheephead and catfish like crazy. My guess is we've either got another big catfish on or maybe a carp. Otherwise, we've got a really, really nice walleye on, but woo, big old kitty cat. You know, it's a rough fish day today, folks. Sorry we couldn't get any walleyes in the boat today, but you know, that's what the cards deal you, I guess. I guess we've caught our fair share of walleyes the last couple times out that the walleye gods are giving us a day off, but oh well, there's tomorrow and the next day and the day after that. Still fun catching these big cats, sheephead. It's always nice when you got something on the other end of your line pulling back. Oh. Ooh, she's a fat one here. There we go. Look at the gut on her. Ooh. I think they speak, what's that language that the Star Trek people speak? I think they speak that kind of language, but that's the story today. Catfish, sheephead, carp, and no walleyes. But hey, it's always fun to get out. It's always fun to catch a few fish. I'm gonna let her go. Kerplunk. It's hot. I've had enough fishing in the sun today. We're gonna go make some supper and hit the rack early tonight and get back up, and I'll be in the store tomorrow. But until next time, I'm Troy Peterson, Mr. Bluegill. Thank my brother Chase for coming out and being cameraman again. And we'll catch you guys on the water next time. Go explore the outdoors.